Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here at Baxter Cycle in Marnie, Iowa, and look what they have rolled out for us today. Isn't that just a beautiful thing? That is a Triumph Tiger 900 Rally Pro, I believe, actually. Just an absolutely gorgeous machine. Check that thing out. All the little subtle hints of, and it's just got everything. The thing's just loaded for bear. So what is it? Well, it's a 3-cylinder. It's an inline triple, liquid cooled, of course. Dual overhead cam. There's the head right there. Has about 11.25 to 1 compression. Puts out about 94 horsepower and 64 foot-pounds of torque. That's 87 Newton meters. Look at that. Quick shifter. 6-speed transmission, by the way. It's got all the Triumph minutia. It's just fully geared up. But this has got to be one of their all-around best engines. The 888, I call it, or what they call it, the 888, 888 cc's. Just a beautiful machine. I drove one of these, I don't know, 6 months ago, and I just fell in love with it. The torque was right at the bottom. It was smooth. Had a really good sound. I think it's got the 270-degree crank firing order. Just a beautiful thing. It was the first bike I ever rode with a quick shifter, and I was just blown away by that, of course. Just a fascinating machine. I don't even know where to start with this thing. I'll start by saying it's actually one of my all-around favorite motorcycles. You know, I've talked before about the unified motorcycle theory. I think I did that with this thing. And that's the idea that you can get by with one motorcycle in your life. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if you had to, this would be a good motorcycle for that. This would be a great motorcycle for that. This thing does just about anything you can imagine. When I rode this bike, you know, I rode it highway and back 2-lane blacktop back roads, and I just fell in love with it. It was just wow. But okay, let's focus back on the engine a little bit. Stainless steel exhaust, little bash pan on the bottom. Look at the split radiator design. What they've done with that is, you know, this gives this a little more room here. They've been able to push the engine a little more forward. 2 small radiators at an angle, more room for the tire here. Just a gorgeous, look at those covers. Isn't that just, wow, look at this little Triumph detail down here. Lower engine guards come stock with this model. You can get upper engine guards also. Comes with these driving lights. The Pro model comes with these riding lights. Pro model comes with everything. I did a configurator on this, and it was just cheaper to just simply buy this bike if you wanted all the options. And we'll go through what those are here in a minute. But so let's jump over here to the front. The forks are 45 millimeter inverted forks. Showa. They're fully adjustable. Here's the adjusters here. Dampening, rebound, I suppose compression too. Not sure about that, but just a gorgeous looking system. I mean, look at that. Just beautiful, incredibly large. Radially mounted Brembo Stylema brakes. The discs are 320 millimeter. Look at that. Isn't that just, that's just art to me. This is just, this motorcycle front end has everything. You know, the upside down forks, the stylish covering fender, the gigantic brakes, the monoblock brake caliper. So the big advantage of the monoblock, one big piece of metal, right? So as this thing heats up, it doesn't have to transfer from one piece of metal to another piece of metal to another. The whole thing heats up, able to dissipate heat better. The radial mounting, you know, that's a big thing now, and I'm not sure what the advantages of that are, but it's really something. The brakes are ABS, and they've got the corner sensitive feature there, so they adjust as you lean. Jumping back to the rear end here, I think that's a 255 millimeter disc on the back, and that also is a Brembo. Isn't that just gorgeous? Cast aluminum swing arm, chain drive. Look at that, monoshock. Absolutely gorgeous. The amount of suspension travel on this, by the way, I think that's 9.4 inches. I mean, look at that. That is a humongous amount of, you know, travel. That's where you can see where the advantage of this system here is. That is about 240 millimeters. So 240 millimeters, 9.4 inches. Then you jump back to the back. I think the back was about 9 inches. That's 230 millimeters. So look at that. I mean, build a doghouse in there. There's so much room. Just a fabulous thing. These tires are tubeless, by the way. You know, it's spoked, but they're a tubeless tire. They've got tire pressure sensing on there, so you can see your tire pressure on the dash up here. Instrument panel. Just a beautiful front end. Let's go through some of the quick other numbers. Wheelbase is 61 inches. That's about 1,551 millimeters. Seat height is, I think in this configuration, is 33.9 inches. That's roughly 860 millimeters. And I think it adjusts up about an inch. So it's adjustable. I think that's the lowest number, so it goes up about an inch. Weight for this motorcycle, one of my favorite parts, 443 pounds. It's 201 kilograms. 443 pounds. Now that's dry weight. So I would add, I don't know what to add, 30 to 50 pounds to that to give you the wet weight number. But this bike has got so much torque, and the weight is so low. When I rode this bike, I did a bunch of figure eights and circles and things like that, and I was just amazed at how well it handled. You know, it just did it so well. The center of gravity is very low on this, even though it has such a high suspension. Just a beautiful thing. Gas tank, by the way, 5.3 gallons. It's 20 liters. Just a beautiful thing. So this color is an interesting one. This is actually one of my favorite colors for this bike, and this is called Sandstorm, I believe. And in this light, it really doesn't show like it should. It was parked over yonder in the sun, and it just really jumps out at you. Other options are a white, I think they call it pure white, and then a matte khaki green. We don't have them. So let's look over the details here. Starting with the seat. Heated seat. Heated passenger seat. You know, here's the controls for that. Heated rider seat. The controls for that are right up here. Right here. Heated grips. You know, excellent weather control. Triumphs are known for their weather protection. Other things about this bike, stock things. I've already talked about the crash bars, the skid plate, the driving lights, the hand guards, the heated grips, heated seats, auxiliary ports for you know, equipment, like if you have a heated vest or something like that. Here's one for the front and there's one for the back. Fully adjustable suspension, front and rear, by the way. And on the rear, by the way, look at this knob here for making adjustments. Other neat little details. This is very Triumph. You know, the cast pieces, just the ultra high quality. The Triumph badging. You know, look at this, flexible. The rear, you know, this is removable. This rear section is removable. You get this damage, you can replace it. These come off. You can take these brackets off. This has got the little stainless covers here and down here. So I think jumping up here. So adjustable clutch lever and brake lever. Heated seat button right here. The driving lights over here. High-low pass to flash right there. Cruise control with incremental up and down right there. Mode button, blinker button, joystick, horn, heated grip button right there. On-off start, home button right there. I think that's the lock button right. No, that's hazard lights right there. The adjustable, oh, that's a radial mount caliper, by the way. Brembo radial mount caliper for the brake. And there's an adjustment for this lever right here. Right here. Fly-by-wire. It's got riding modes. Just a gorgeous machine. Gorgeous machine. Center stand included. Look at the quality of the side stand, by the way. That's something that always gets me on Triumph. Like I said before, the quality of all the little details is, you know, so with Triumph, its engineering is excellent. The next thing I would say is the overall quality and styling. Styling would be the next thing. Just perfect styling. And then the quality is just, it just oozes quality everywhere. And then on top of all those nifty things, everything works really well together. You know, everything just works, performs just like you'd want it to. Let's hop up here and take a look at some things. This bike has a key. There's our dash, oil light, engine light, ABS light, fuel light. Pay attention to this. I'll hit some buttons over here. Pass to flash, high lows. Heated seat lights, high low, 1 and 2. Fuel light up here again. I don't know if we can get the cruise button without, oh yeah, cruise right there just came on. Of course it's off, you know, the bike's not running, so that doesn't matter. Mode button right down here. What mode are we in? Let's see if we can change that. Okay, road, rider, rain, road, and sport. Let's see if we can do anything with that. I'm doing that by activating this button. Sport, off-road, off-road pro. Interesting. I'm guessing that has to do with traction control. Traction control off, ABS off, off-road map. Rider, you can adjust these. Here's rain. That's really neat. That's really neat. I like that a lot. Just a really good view there, isn't there? Time, current temperature, you know, and then of course assemblage down here. I like that. There's a way to adjust the, let's see what we can do here. Traction disabled, or whatever I did there. Okay, this would give us our tire pressures. Bike must have to be on for that to work. Let's see what else we can find on here. It's very clear that our traction control is off. Let's hit the home button and see what happens. Home button's over here. Rider modes. Using the joystick over here. Bike setup, trip setup, display setup. Let's try that. Colors. Oh, okay, so 4 different colors. Let's try green. Brightness, high contrast, low contrast, visibility, gear shift indicator. Let's see what that says. Well, let's just leave that one alone. But you know, a lot of options here. You know, fly-by-wire control, of course. So, just a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. When I rode this bike, what I remember, well, the bike I rode had different mirrors. I can't tell you about the mirrors on this, but just a beautiful looking thing, isn't it? I think that's a 7-inch TFT. Let me get my notes here. Yeah, 7-inch TFT color. You know, it's really gorgeous. By the way, Bluetooth connectivity too. Okay, let's get off this thing. I think I pointed this out already, but isn't that just gorgeous? Look at the lighting on the back there. Jump over here to the front, take a look at that. Wow. Okay, so if the high and lows, looks like one's on when the lows are on. Both come on when the high is on. That's pretty neat. Okay, let's shut that off. Good afternoon, it says. Wow, I love it. I love it. I did a configurator on this bike, and the only things I really wanted to add to this particular model was the luggage. Everything else was already there, you know. I did the regular rally model and, you know, added all the stuff in, and it was actually cheaper to buy this model than it was to do that. It just has everything on it. Just a gorgeous machine. I love it. I think this, you know, if a guy was to only own one motorcycle, I think this would be a good one for it. Just a gorgeous bike. Hey, if y'all are interested in a motorcycle like this, get yourselves down here to Baxter Cycle. Give those guys a call, ask for Randy or Jeremy, Mark, and they can help you out. Life is good. Wahoo.